With all of the modifications now done to the front and rear, I could move on to painting. In the last episode I ended up with priming and then sanding that primer smooth in order for a nice base coat of paint to be applied to it. Of course, I'm starting with those hard to reach, easy to forget spots first, and then going over the rest of the body with a couple light coats. The first coat is on and is already starting to cover nicely, so 5 minutes of curing time in between and another couple coats and we're good to go on to the clear. The second coat pretty much covered it all the way, but just to be sure, a third coat was applied, and then I could move on to clear coat. After the third coat was put on, I let it sit and dry for about 15 minutes and started mixing up the clear coat for that to be applied as well. Of course, I'm starting off with those hard to reach, easy to forget spots just to get some coverage on them and also give them a bit of gloss, and on the next couple coats it's not really that important to focus on those areas anymore. First coat is on, it's already getting a nice glossy finish, and I let it cure for about 5 minutes before moving on to the second and final coat for now. After applying the final coat of clear, I let it cure for about 24 hours. I noticed a couple of spots on the front and rear bumper where I filled in some areas. I already noticed this in the primer stage and pretty much knew this was going to happen, but I wanted to give this a shot anyway. It didn't really work out as planned. Most of it was pretty well hidden and nice and even, though a couple spots were, to my eye, pretty unacceptable and needed to be fixed. And instead of just fixing some of these spots, I decided to do the entire body. The entire thing was sanded down with some 3000 grit sanding sponges. I added another coat of color to blend everything in nice and even, and then added a couple of decals and some clear coat as well. With the color coat now on and looking nice and even, I let it cure for about 30 minutes before applying the decals on the rear and also on the front, then moving on to the clear coat. The first coat went on nice and glossy already, so 5 minutes of cure time in between and a second final coat of clear was good enough. After resanding, repainting, and also re-clearing with the decals underneath, all of the modifications are now nicely hidden and look part of the bumpers and also the fenders on the side. I'm really happy that I took the time to fix this small mistake, and the body looks absolutely great to my eye.